Do you want a professional level duel system like Hypixel and other big servers? Here's how you can do exactly that with EpicDuelsPRO. Starting a duel works like this. Just type /duel and then the name of the player that you want to duel. And then it brings up this menu. You can add as many kits as you want to this menu, or you can just totally disable the kit selection, or you can click no kit and fight with whatever's in your inventory, then choose if you want to fight with keep inventory on or off for that fight. But for this example, I'll go ahead and choose classic kit. Once we send a challenge, the other player gets a message like this, and when they accept the challenge, we get pulled into the arena. Inside the arena, players can place blocks, and then they can actually break the blocks that they placed, but they can't actually break the arena itself. And that's pretty much the way most big servers have it set up. When the duel's over, we both get our original inventories back, and the arena gets completely reset. To get it set up, first build your arenas. You're going to want these to be closed in with at least barrier blocks because you don't want people to escape during a duel. It's also a good idea to number these so that you can easily keep track of them. And with them built, you can go ahead and go to the first starting position. So I'm going to want them to start, say, here and then here. So I'll go right here, and I'll look the direction that I want them to look. So right here. And what we're going to type is /duel set arena. And we'll do number 1 for this one and position 1. So that sets arena 1, position 1, and then we'll come to the other side and go right here, look the other direction, and do the same command except position 2. So that's arena 1, position 1, and position 2. So if I do /duel arenas, or /duel A for short, list, I can see that we have arena 1. It's available. We have our 2 starting positions, but we don't have a region linked yet. So to link a region, we're going to have to create a world guard region. So to do that, we're going to have to go to the opposite corners of the arena. So I'll come right here and I'll type /pause1. And then I'll go over to the opposite corner over here. And then I'll do /pause2. Alright, so with that we have the region selected. Let's do /region define. And to make it easier, since this is Arena 1, I'll call the region Arena 1. So now that you have the region created, it's a good idea to set your flags. So just go ahead and do /RG flag, and then the arena name, so Arena 1 PvP allow. And that makes it so that people can PvP in there. So, or you might want to do mob spawning deny. And then to link the region to the arena that you created, you just do /duel a link. And then the arena number, so we're going to do 1, and then the region, which was arena 1. And as you can see, that's linked. So if we do /duel a list again, as you can see, it's available, and then the region is there. So this arena would now work. And if we placed blocks in here, as soon as the duel was over, it would go ahead and remove those blocks. So you also want to set the flags so that people can place blocks in here. You do not have to set the flags so that they can break blocks, because the plugin's set to let them only break the blocks that they've placed. So if you set it to where they can't break blocks, the only blocks they can break will be ones that somebody's placed during a duel. But either way, anything in that region that you just created will be completely reset after a duel in that arena is over. So now that we have this arena done, you can just go ahead and repeat that process for all of these other arenas. So with that done, we need to know where to send players who won a duel. So we're going to go to the respawn position, and this is where I want players to respawn after a fight. So I'll go here, and I'll do /duel set spawn, and that's where players will go after they win a fight. And then the next step is to either customize the kit selection or toggle it off. To do that, you need to go into your server file manager. From the main directory, go to the file manager, then go down to plugins, then find EpicDuelsPRO, then click on the kits.yml file. Here you can customize the kits by adding a unique kit ID. It really doesn't matter what you put, it just can't be the same as another one. And then below that, you just put 2 spaces and then command. And then here's where you put the command you want it to run in console. Since it's in console, you don't put the actual /. And then instead of the player's name, put %player% as just a placeholder. Once you've added all the kits that you want, go back to your main folder and go to config.yml. In here you can toggle the kit selection completely off by turning this to false, and there's also a setting called PvP outside duel. By default it's true, but if you switch it to false, then players will not be able to PvP unless they both agreed to a duel. So anytime they're outside of a duel, they won't be able to hit each other. They'll only be able to hit each other if they both agreed to a duel. You can change how the GUI looks by editing the filler items. By default, it's got light blue and blue glass panes, but you can switch that out for literally any item you want. This number represents the slot number, the type is the actual item you want, name lets you display anything there, and then lore is the description for that item. For the actual kits, for the type, you would put the display item that you would want it to show, the name of the actual kit, and then the description of the kit in the lore section. Below that, you have kit ID, and that's where you use the kit ID that you used in the kits.yml file. If they're fighting without a kit, instead of a kit ID, it uses no kit option, but you don't really need to mess with that. And to close the GUI, it uses close GUI option instead of an actual kit ID. Down here at the bottom, you'll see commands in duel. If that's false, players can't use commands while they're in a normal duel, unless those commands are on this whitelist. So inside of a normal duel, the only commands they'll be able to use are shop or e-chest. If I wanted another one, I could just go down here and go ahead and add another one. If I wanted them to do TPA, I could do that, but you really wouldn't want them to be able to teleport inside of a duel arena. You don't want them to be able to teleport one of their friends to them to help them out. You don't want them to be able to teleport out either, so that's the point of that, and by default, that's going to be false. Op bypass means that server operators can bypass that, so if you were an operator, you could use any command in the duel, even though it's set like this. There's a separate section for commands in kit duel, because inside of a normal duel, you might want them to be able to buy more resources from the shop or get more out of their ender chest, but in a kit duel, you know, they start with what they start with, you don't want them to get anything else, so by default the only one they can do is /message, but if you want them to do something else, you can go ahead and add that right in there. So by default, that's going to be false as well, so they can't use commands in kit duel except for the whitelisted ones. Commands after duel is the time period where somebody's won a duel, but they're waiting to be teleported back to the spawn area. So for most duels that would be 5 seconds, but if it was a no kit and no keep inventory duel, it gives them 30 seconds, and that's so that the winner has time to go and collect the loot of the loser. So during that time period, the only commands that are allowed by default are spawn, warp, and home. And that's just so that players can get out of the duel arena faster if they want to, instead of having to wait for the full timer. After you've adjusted your settings inside the game, you can do /duel reload, and that will reload all of the kits and the configuration settings. You can type /duel list, and that will show you all of the arenas that you have set up, as well as the region it's linked to. If you ever want to remove an arena, you just do /duel remove, and then the arena number, or all, if you want to get rid of all of them at once. Also, if you ever have a gap in your arena and someone finds a way to ender pearl out, or finds a way to teleport out or whatever, you can just go ahead and do /duel release, and what that does is it force releases all of the arenas and marks them as available again. So if somebody manages to teleport out, it's probably going to get stuck as occupied. So that's really the only scenario where you would need to use that command, and if one does get stuck as occupied, that shows that you have a way where players can get out of the arena during a duel. And that's about all the bases covered for EpicDuelsPRO. You can fully customize the plugin to get the exact duel experience that you're looking for. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll try my best to respond quickly. And also, if you could like and subscribe, it would really help me out a lot. Thank you. Bye. Love you.